Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to the Midday Cabaret here at the Broadway Rose Theater Company. We come to you every Wednesday at 1 o'clock live. And of course, then you can catch it on our website and all sorts of social media to play it over and over again. We do want to thank Pearson Financial. They are the Broadway Rose's title corporate sponsor and have been for 25 years. And we appreciate all that Conrad Pearson and Bonnie Conger and everybody over at Pearson Financial for their support these many, many, many years. So today we have some very special guests of the Broadway Rose. They're good friends of ours for many, many years. You may know them as the Bylines, which is a group that's been playing now for a number of years, and we'll hear more about them. Together they make up the Bylines. But please welcome Reece Marshburn and Marianna Thielen. Hey, you guys, welcome.
Hi,
Hi.
Dan.
How are you guys doing? Okay?
We're
Very
doing
well.
all right, hanging in there.
Good. As a married couple, you work all together. Now they're saying you can't even leave your house. So that's a lot of togetherness.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. Well, how are you staying creative in this time?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, make a joke about it, but fortunately, we did get trapped with a major collaborator during this whole thing. So we're very fortunate in that way. We get to make music, we get to write, we get to, we've been having a little bit of fun. So
Yeah.
Good. I'm sure people have a much more romanticized version of your relationship that all you do is do the dishes and vacuum and sing, and I'm sure that's what it is.
that's right.
That is. We actually did write a song. We won't do it today. We'll later tonight in our stream we're doing it. But it's a song about us fighting while we're stuck together. So there's that too.
I'm sure it was very difficult to write.
Yeah, no. There was a wealth of material.
Good. Well, before we continue, I want to remind our audience that is tuning in live to please submit your questions. If you have something burning that you want Marianna or Reece to answer, then this would be your opportunity, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. So first, let's start off with you, Marianna, only because I've known you longer. Now, you come, of course, from a very musical family, but tell us how you got started in music, and, of course, a big part of your life is musical theater.
Yeah, I mean, I've been singing since I was a kid, and lots of musicals throughout middle school, high school, and yeah, I think I did my first show with you guys when I was 15. So.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, because the only reason I say that is the year before, so you did your first show with us. If you were 15, then we may have hired you for the box office at 14.
Oh,
No,
yeah. Or maybe it was the summer. I feel like I did the show and then I stayed the next year and did the box office. I can't remember.
Well,
order, but...
yeah, either way, we probably broke some child labor laws, it sounds like. I know that you started off with us in 1996, was when you worked the box office all summer long.
Yes.
And then it was not, and of course you also did a lot of children's theater with us too, because that was the next couple of years you were in Rapunzel and Snow White and, what was the other? The Elves and the Shoemaker, along with your mom and sister. So that was very fun. But of course, then your first main stage show with us was Bye Bye Birdie.
That's right.
And there you are in the lower left with your back, and then the girl on the left with the polka dots. And then there you are swooning over Conrad Birdie. And then in 2003, there you are with the white dress and your arms flung up for How to Succeed in Business and the Winter Wonderettes. Fantastic. But I tell you, I'm going to tell you one thing which you can put on your resume. In 1998, you were working crew for us. You were Sharon's dresser for Hello Dolly.
Yes, I was.
But we needed to fill in before the parade passes by. So we asked the whole crew and we outfitted you and we had you go across the stage. So I'm just saying you can legitimately put that on your resume as well. That you did Hello Dolly.
I just did this across the stage with
a wave with a flag.
Parasol or something.
Right. Now you went to, tell me where you went to college again. It was in Colorado, right?
Yeah, the University of Northern Colorado. Yeah. Yeah.
And spent a couple of years in New York, right? Didn't you go there soon after college?
Yep, went to New York, spent a little bit of time there, and then I moved back to Oregon.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. All right, Reece, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Olympia, Washington, so
Mhm.
not too far away.
Yeah. And your college, you have a jazz degree from
Yeah,
college,
that's
right?
that's right. I came at this music that we do from more of the jazz side of things, but yeah. So I got a degree from Western Washington University, and then I came down here to work on a riverboat. As we were just talking about,
Right.
Dan, this is where I met you in a
Right.
different life.
Right. That was a different life. Boy, a long time ago. On the riverboat.
On the riverboat,
I
yeah.
forgot
So
that.
Dan was a choreographer for some of the shows, and I was the house band leader.
Right. That was fun. But I got to sleep in my own bed at night. So,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
four to a
um,
room. Yeah, that was.
right. And
I'm used to tight. We're hanging out a lot together. I'm
good.
used to tight. Quarters of 4 people to a room on the boat. So
Right.
this is
Yeah.
pretty spacious.
Yeah. No, thank you. You also, though, have musical directed at Portland Center Stage and Oregon Ballet Theater. And of course, you musical directed here at the Broadway Rose
That's
back
right.
in
Yeah.
2008 for Dames at Sea.
Yeah.
So, and that was a lot of fun. But the bylines have taken off so much that I can't imagine you have time for such a long-term commitment because you guys are so popular. So,
Well, up until about 3 months ago, we were pretty well booked.
right. Well, let's get to some singing,
All
if
right.
that's okay. So why don't you go ahead and set up this first song you're going to do?
Sure. This is from the musical Guys and Dolls. We're going to do kind of a swing version of it. I know that you did this show a couple years ago. I've actually never, you directed this at PCS.
Yeah, played in the pit. Yep.
I've never been in this show, and I love Frank Lesser, the composer, and this is the tune that Sarah sings after she's had a few. She's fallen in love and she's a little tipsy. Ask me, how do I feel now that we're cozy and clinging? Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd be ringing. From the moment we kissed tonight, that's the way I just gotta behave. Boy, if I were a lamp, I'd light, or if I were a banner, I'd wave. Ask me, how do I feel? Me with my quiet upbringing. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a gate, I'd be swinging. And if I were a season, I'd surely be spring. And if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding. Ask me, how do I feel from this chemistry lesson I'm learning? Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bridge, I'd be burning. I just knew my morale would crack from the wonderful way that you look. Boy, if I were a duck, I'd quack. Or if I were a goose, I'd be cooked. Ask me, how do I feel now that we're fondly caressing? How if I were a salad, you know I'd be splashing my dressing. Ask me how to describe this whole beautiful thing. Well, if I were a bell, if I were a bell, if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding dong, ding.
Wow. That just brings a huge smile to everybody that gets to listen. How fun. What a great arrangement. So
Thank you.
before we go on, Reece, do you ever, I know Marianna has to memorize the lyrics, but do you ever put sheet music in front of you?
Not unless I'm playing it in a pit orchestra, then it needs to be note specific. If I had to memorize specific sets of notes, I
Wow.
wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah.
Wow. That's great. That's great. Okay. So how did you two meet?
Yes.
Oh, so we, actually, our friend Courtney Freed, who you know, she kind of
Sure.
helped introduce us. We went to high school together, and then she worked with Reece on the boats, and
Right.
kind of helped push us together. And I had seen him around on the Portland Spirit and a bunch of other places, so I kind of knew who he was. And then he finally asked me out.
Finally.
Finally.
And then you two were married in 2012.
12. Yeah, so
Wow, look at that.
there.
What a beautiful couple. I mean, it
Aw.
looks like you two just stepped right out of Brides magazine or one of those things. That's great. That's great. So then getting together, of course, tell us where did the bylines come from? How did that culminate?
Well, let's see. We started playing at this club called Tony Starlights that was
Mhm.
in Northeast Portland, and Reece worked there. He was Tony's house player, and then we had a band there that was originally called Marianna and the Baby Vamps. We did a lot of 60s
Right.
stuff, and then really when once we started writing together was kind of when we found this new sound that wasn't quite the 60s. It was like
Right.
a little bit of the jazz influence, a little bit of the pop. And eventually we decided to change our name and not be tied into that kind of genre
Hmm.
after a couple years.
Yeah, so we called ourselves the Bylines because that's the place on a piece of sheet music where the author signs their name, you know.
Yeah.
So it was our way of paying homage to all the great songwriters that came before us and that tradition we kind of fall into, which comes from music theater tradition, but also jazz tradition and a
Sure,
bunch of things
sure.
like that.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. Okay, we are going to take a question from our audience. Let's
Oh.
see what burning minds want to know. And Zooty Man would like to know, jazz is kind of difficult genre to get into. What got you into jazz specifically?
Ah.
That's good. Yeah. In the late '90s, when I was when I was in high school, there was a swing revival movement. I don't know if you remember this, but like '96,
Like Cherry
'97.
Poppin' Daddies.
Yeah,
Mhm,
these
sure.
these sort of swing revival bands were happening, and all of a sudden, kids, teenagers, 20-somethings, wanted to swing dance again. So there was a need for live music to play these dances for swing dancers to get into, and so I had played classical up until that time, and then I started studying popular piano, jazz piano, and had to have help people move around on a dance floor.
Yeah, wow. And I've also seen the bylines. I've seen you guys perform just when it's the two of you, but then you have an expandable repertoire where you have other musicians join you, and or it could be just the two of you. Do you just pick up people along the way, or how does that work?
Kind of. We've we've played with a variety of different musicians in the Portland area. Like so, very often we do a quartet where we have a horn player and bass, and then we also have a seven-piece group. And we did that for our recent CD release.
Mhm.
So we have drums, horn section, bass, and then piano. And then we had some guests playing accordion and violin too.
Wow.
So yeah, we find all sorts of fun people.
So does that replace you on the snare drum?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's better. It's much better.
Okay, how about setting up another song for us?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Good.
So this kind of relates to our story of how we met, and so we're coming up on our 13th year of knowing each other,
That's right.
and our 8th wedding anniversary. But when we first started dating, and I introduced Reece to my family, they were pleasantly surprised to see me with somebody who was so polite, clean, made eye contact. It was a low bar. But this is about Reece and his affinity for a certain article of clothing. walks in, shy grin, I lose my mind. He's got those book smarts, my heart's sealed and signed. Deliver me, I'm yours, I'm smitten, you see. A guy like you's not usually who'd be with me. But baby, I can't think of anything better than to undo all the buttons on your cardigan sweater. Listen up, I got a secret for you. You think you want a bad boy, you know you do. But I found myself a gem and now I'm his biggest fan. I'm talking about my Cardigan Man. Other guys are fun, but girl, they're just blowing smoke. They'll leave you sad and lonely, hungry, broke. So run, don't walk, as fast as you can, and get yourself a Cardigan Man. Cardigan Man.
Why, hello there.
Cardigan Man.
Here, allow me.
Cardigan Man.
Would you like a Fresca?
Get yourself a Cardigan Man. He's classy and polite, he gives you loads of respect. But get to know him and you'll see a side that you won't expect. You never knew to put a guy like this in your plan, and you will love your Cardigan Man. Yeah, he likes to study and sometimes he's too slow, but you'll appreciate the time he takes and where he will go. You won't even remember how the whole thing began. That's why you love your Cardigan Man. Cardigan Man.
My, you look lovely.
Cardigan Man.
What would you like to talk about?
Cardigan Man.
I have to be home by 10.
Get yourself a Cardigan Man. Polo Man is wound a bit too tight. Leather jacket man is always in a fight. Jersey man is on an ego trip. Flannel man, his beard is way too hip. Cardigan Man.
Lovely weather we're having.
Cardigan Man. Cardigan Man.
Can we invite your parents?
Get yourself a Cardigan Man. Cardigan Man.
I love the way they feel.
Cardigan Man.
I'm literally never cold.
Cardigan Man.
And you know James Bond? He wears one on his day off.
Get yourself a Cardigan Man. Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you could do that with a straight face. That is so funny. That is great. So bringing him home to mom made up for the fact that he was a musician?
I guess so. You know, luckily my parents, as you know, are fans of music, and my dad plays piano, my mom sings, so it's, it's not too,
Nice.
too
Nice.
unusual.
That's great. So, so what is it like to be a gig musician? I mean, I know you guys do some teaching, but pretty much, the bylines and the gigs that you do are your income. So how is that? There's a lot of opportunity here in Portland.
Between, just like hotels, restaurants, things like that, and then doing private functions and writing for things and recording, you just have to kind of piece together all these different types of streams. But we were keeping very, very busy, and it's a grind, but we love to do it. So
yeah. At least you don't play the harp, right? That you have to schlep around.
I know. Although we do often have to bring our own sound system, so we're usually schlepping quite a bit. But a harp would be a whole nother level.
So 2011, you did the Johnny Mercer Songwriters Project, and your mentors, I guess, were Christine Ebersol there, and Charles Strauss, who of course wrote Bye Bye Birdie and Annie and tell us a little bit about that program. What brought you to the program, and what did you leave with?
We we just applied, heard about it, applied for it, were accepted. And we also, Craig Carnelia and Marcy Heisler were some of our mentors, Laurie White. So yeah, I mean, we still talk about it as the best week of our lives.
Yeah, very much so.
It was just to go into this environment and be surrounded by all these songwriters. It felt like, oh, these are our people. Like they think the same way we do. And I think even more than, I mean, we love playing, but I think the writing is actually our most favorite part. So I think it really felt good to be in an environment of people who felt that way as well. And we wrote 2 songs there that we still play a lot. And
it was the basis for our first record, which we recorded in 2011. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, right on the tails of that, we recorded our first record, and then we've just been kind of slowly getting into the music scene ever since.
Yeah.
Well, and part of that was to write, you wrote I think 3 maybe, musicals for Northwest Children's Theater.
That's right. Yeah.
Did that Mercer workshop there help catapult you to that kind of stuff too? To write musical theater specifically? Or?
Absolutely. We were surrounded, the type of writers that were there were people from New York. They went to NYU. But they were actually from all over the country. But a lot of them had a musical sort of theater bent, which I think is, when you hear our songs, there's certain a music theater angle to them, story-driven sort of, rhyming lyrics and all these sorts of things, that are really sort of the hallmarks of music theater writing. And so, yeah, definitely influences us.
Yeah, and working with that team, Sarah Jane and John Ellingson, that was just such a great, they set us up so well to succeed. And it was kind of, we did get thrown into something that we didn't quite know how it would work, but it ended up being so fun. And just, I mean, and to write for children's audience is so fun because they just, I mean, they're very truthful,
Yeah, they'll let you know if it stinks.
Yeah.
So they had you back for more, so that's a good sign.
I love.
Well, now we talked about a little bit about your most recent album was released. Tell us a little bit about that, the Night and Day.
Yeah, we released it just in time at the Alberta Rose Theater on March 7th. And
here's some photos. Yeah, these are great from the concert.
Yeah, we've probably been working on these songs for 3 years, and then finally recorded them and put this together. So it was, the recording process itself was probably 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
And then we did the big concert. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And you're right, the nick of time, March 7th. Enjoy, everybody. We're going home now.
That's right.
Everybody stay home.
That's right.
Yikes. Well, there's an opportunity. What is your website? Because people will want to know more.
Thebylines.com.
Okay, well, that seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So people can do that after they finish watching to get more information. So let's set up. Oh no, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a couple more questions from our audience. So this first question from Katie Thielen. Gee, I wonder if that's any relation to Marianna Thielen. How do you two write music together? That must be for our benefit because I'm sure she must know the answer.
That's so funny. Oh, Mom. Well, let's see. A lot of people ask, like, who does the music? Who does the lyrics? But we actually end up doing both.
Yeah.
And it just kind of depends on who thinks of the idea first, and that person is kind of the lead on the song, and the other person's the editor.
Yeah.
So, like, our most recent song, I'm lead on it, and I came up with the music, a melody, basic chords, and then I play it for him, and then he's like, okay, I think, you should add this, change this, and the same thing will happen with Reece will come to me with something. So, and then we just kind of, from that, then we start working together, but there's always kind of like that setup.
One person brings an idea, yeah.
Does that mean you also have a trunk full of songs and ideas that you put away and revisit a year later? Or...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some, of course, are not very good because you got to write a lot of bad ones, but... but sometimes we put something away and there wasn't of course, there wasn't a place for it at the time, but all of a sudden it just is pertinent again. And we usually fix it. There was usually a problem with it. So that's why we put it away. But
Yeah.
Good. More to come then. Let's take another question. Okay, Tyreen Bada, question for the both of you. Has there ever been a time in your careers when a door closed but a window opened?
Ooh, little Sound of Music reference there. I like it. Or a Bible reference, one of the two. What do you think?
Well, I would say, I mean, if we can just be real honest right now, we hadn't done much streaming prior to the pandemic hitting. And so it has really encouraged us to kind of get with the modern technology and to reach out to maybe a new community of people that we weren't reaching before. Because now we have this opportunity to perform and play our songs for a much broader audience. And so Wednesday nights, we've been live streaming
Right.
every Wednesday, with exception of one since March 14th, I think.
Wow.
And so if you check out where's the best place to go?
Our YouTube page.
That's right. So the Bylines YouTube page tonight
go.
and Wednesdays at 6 o'clock.
Great.
We have a program. We have a guest artist join us virtually, of course. But yeah.
Who's tonight's guest artist?
Her name is Erica Lulakwa, and she is in the Bay Area. Friends of ours. She's originally from Tanzania, so it's her music's really great, and we're excited to.
Wonderful songwriter.
And that's a great thing about our stream too. We don't have to limit it to the people, local people. Although there are great local people, but.
Great. Well, how about setting up another song for us?
Yes.
Good.
So this one is kind of fits in with what we were talking about. What's gig life like? And we do get a lot of questions about it, and what do you guys, where do you want to go? And what's kind of a lot of them with a subtext of like, what's the point? So I felt like we wanted to write this song as an answer to that question. Don't care what my age is, my unsteady wages, my rants and my rages, my love for the pages, the way I stay sane, feel and heal my own pain, so I go against the grain, don't mean to, it's just who I am. They try to ignore her, that girl in the corner, the one with her jar out, art out, singing her heart out. How will she get her start out there? Does she care that they stare and wonder if she's aware? And does she want to be famous? Or is she just aimless? But she sings, this is what it's for, this is what it's for, this is what it's for. This is what it's for, this is what it's for, this is what it's for. I see you look at my ring, I hear you questioning, wondering, how is she figuring everything out? Doesn't she doubt, worry there's something she'll miss? But I keep singing and blow you a kiss, so go find your own bliss. I don't need more than this. No, you can't ignore her, that girl in the corner, hauling gear and heels and a dress, trying to make sense of the mess, to address it with a song and a beat, banging her drum, tapping her feet, and singing, this is what it's for, this is what it's for, this is what it's for. This is what it's for, this is what it's for, this is what it's for. Broadway Rose people. We all know you like to sing along, so join us with this one now. This is what it's for. 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 Don't care what my age is, I'll keep writing pages. This isn't a phase, it's my life, so don't mind me. You know where to find me. I'll be where the stage is.
This is what it's for. This is what it's for. So all the Broadway Rose are going to appreciate the earworm you've put in their heads now for the rest of the day. So that's how you sell an album. Good, good. Well, we talked about your live stream, so I'm going to remind everybody it's Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and they can go to your YouTube channel. And then there are other places to purchase any CDs, and that would be on. Did they hear it on Spotify or Apple or all sorts of those sites?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, if they want to order it, they can go to our website, but they can stream it on Apple and Spotify, all that.
Yeah. Have you found yourself, as this window opens, that are you cranking out that much more material since you've been sequestered like this?
We have been, and we also, for a couple years now, we've had this group through the site called Patreon, which is like a place where people can join at a monthly rate, and then we send them every month. We write a new song that we release through there. We send our episodes of Cardigan Corner, which is basically a Mr. Rogers-like figure dispensing advice, and Reece also writes instrumental music that he releases through that as well, called morning music. So so that keeps us busy, turning out new material and. Talk about a door or a window opening. We've had more people join since this happened. Yeah. So that's been a surprise, and a delight.
Yeah,
so
we're getting close to 100 patrons, and once we hit 100 patrons, we're going to have a party for everybody.
Oh, nice.
Socially distanced.
Okay.
Right now, the leading idea is to load us onto the back of a flatbed pickup and just drive it from house to house.
Right. With a BYOB.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, go ahead and let's set up another song.
All right. Well, and all three of these originals are from the album, and this is we played so often, out, and we always would play different songs at the end of the night as ways to say goodbye, and then we thought, well, why don't we write our own goodbye song? So, as our way to say goodbye to you all, we're going to do that. We'll pretend like it's late at night at a club. The songs were sung, drinks were drunk, tales were told, the piano was plunk. We could carry on until tomorrow. Alas, parting's the sweetest sorrow. Till our paths meet again, let us head to the door as they kick out the drunks and sweep up the floor. And do be safe out there. Good night. Take care. Till our lines intersect, I will think of your smile and the stories you tell that go on for a while, and times we've yet to share. Till then, take care. Take care of the ones who are near. those who are far. Take care of the ones you hold dear, and those different from who you are. Till the road brings you back and you're here by my side. Let the dark be your peace and the light be your guide. No matter when or where, be well. Take care.
What a beautiful way to send you off. How nice, how nice. Well, what a treat it's been to have you guys here this afternoon with all of the incredible talents that you bring. And I'm sure we're going to see those albums fly off the shelf now. So as they should.
We have a lot of
them. Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for being a part of our show today. It's been wonderful. So
Thank you, Dan.
You bet. Take care.
Take care.
Yep. Well, folks, that's our show for this afternoon. Thank you for being here. Thank Pearson Financial for sponsoring us. And we look forward to next week when our guest is Claire Avakian. Now, Claire has done several shows here at the Broadway Rose, and she most recently was Millie in Thoroughly Modern Millie. And next week would have been the opening of our show, Crazy for You, which was to have starred Claire Avakian. So we knew that she had the day off and was able to join us, and we're looking forward to catching up with Claire next week. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in the lobby real soon. Bye.